county that I work in just went on a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew because of all the civil unrest that's occurring in the local area. Interestingly, I leave my house at 4:30 in the morning, which breaks curfew. And I arrive at work in another county with the same curfew at 5:30, breaking that curfew. So now what I need to do, just so I can go to work, is carry a paper with me that says I'm an essential worker and I'm allowed to be out and about and to break curfew. And the thing is, I don't think I was prepared in my adult life to first have a pandemic, which, by the way, with conflicting data at this point, is it as bad as they say it is? Are these measures absolutely necessary? I wasn't prepared for a pandemic where I can't trust the medical community or my government to give me the straight skinny, but they are definitely fucking up people's lives financially, economically, and it will affect us all before the dust settles. It's been like 13 or 14 weeks. I didn't think that in my adult life I would experience that, or even at the same time, martial law, where there's a curfew in place. You can't go out. It's this surreal factor continues to increase, it continues to grow. This morning I started my day at work by taking phone calls and trying to be in a good mood, trying to be that happy guy, spreading joy. And so I would say things at the beginning of the day like, "Hey bro, did you get any rioting in over the weekend? Did you get yourself a new TV over the weekend?" Because I like to make jokes. I make jokes all the time. I make jokes when I shouldn't make jokes. I make jokes when it's awkward for me or when it's uncomfortable for me. I make jokes. I shouldn't have made those jokes. After about 2 or 3 times, my heart overcame my head and convicted me for making those jokes. And I'll tell you why. My wife and I were watching a vlog update by a gentleman in the UK, I believe. I believe he's a very popular talk show host over there. And forgive me, I can't remember his name. I had never heard of it before this, and I can't remember it now. But if I can find the video, I'll put it in the description of this one. I'll put a link to it, and I'll put his name down there so you know what I'm talking about. But it's interesting listening to some of the things he's talking about are consistent with some of the things I've been talking about. At least I did last Friday in my video about racism. Which, by the way, YouTube didn't like the fact that I made a video about racism. I don't know, maybe it's because it's inflammatory. Even though, watch the video, you'll see, not inflammatory. Anyway, we're watching his video, and this occurs to me. Something occurs to me. I can't make jokes about the riots because here's the thing. It's not just a bunch of thugs and criminals taking advantage of a situation to go blow shit up and steal stuff. There's got to be some of those mixed in there, okay? But just, you get a sprinkling of jackholes in every community, in every situation. There's always the representative sampling of jackholes. I'm not thinking the rest are. And he makes a really good point in this video. And he calls it a contract, and I'm not gonna do as well as he, but it really struck me. There's a contract between a person and society. Especially in the United States of America, there's this promise in the United States of America that if you, let's say, put forth the same effort as anybody else for a certain thing, you are entitled to the same freedoms, rights, protections, business opportunities, employment opportunities. You're entitled to the same thing. And what's been happening for hundreds of years is there's one, forgive me, my nose itches, there's one demographic consistently that has been that we've been cheating on that, denying them that full measure of being a citizen of the United States of America, and equal. Now, I'm not saying in all cases. I'm not saying it's down the line. But here's the thing. I know politically correct is to call black people African Americans. But if we're going to do that, then I'll call myself a European American. Or maybe I'll just call myself a white dude, and then there's a black dude, okay? If I go to school, get my 4-year degree, I get straight A's, and I go out and look for a job in the same field as a black person who went through, a black guy like me, same age, same everything, skin a different color. He goes through and does all those same things. Chances are, if you put the two of us in an interview, I'll get the job and that person won't, unless somebody steps in and makes it affirmative action or something, or you have to hire so many black people. So there's that. There's also the specter of the parents of black families raising their children with the understanding that they're going to get honked over, because it keeps happening. It's been happening for hundreds of years. So they grow up with that fear. I never grew up with that fear. And here's the thing. I don't understand the riots. I don't understand what the hubbub's about, because I'm not one of those people that has to live like that. The story about what? Amy Cooper. I don't know if that's a person's name or two people. I don't quite get it. But to hear the story told where a black guy that was out birdwatch, educated Harvard dude, right? This ain't a gangsta slinging crack in the hood, yo. Educated Harvard guy out there bird watching. Asked this lady to put her dog on a leash. She wouldn't do it. By the way, put your dog on a leash. And she says to him, I'm going to call the police and tell them that I'm being assaulted by a black man. Now, we all know the story, right? She lost the dog. She lost everything. But that woman knew, and to use this guy from the UK, I wish I knew his name, to use his words, she knew how to weaponize that cultural difference, use it as a weapon against him, and he understood what that meant, and it was a powerful weapon for him against him. I don't live through that day to day. And so what my wife and I are left with, and she actually did a Facebook post in this regard, we are what people would probably describe as a privileged American white man or woman. So we don't know what it's like. We want to help some kind of way combat this, but we don't want to take the wrong action. We don't want to do anything that on the one hand is like glad handing, like you can't take care of yourself. We don't want to do anything that's offensive or insulting or draws more attention to the differences. We just want to help, but we don't know how to help our black brothers and sisters in the United States of America. We don't know how to help you in such a way that's not condescending, it's not demeaning, it's not humiliating. I don't know how to do it. Maybe we can start with this. Wife and I are looking for a church to go to, if and when we can ever go to church again. Sorry, I'm a little ramped up right now. And I was watching just the opening of this one church near my house that they built the building and then shut down for COVID. That was nice of them to do that to that poor church. The pastor opened the deal up by very specifically stating their church's position on racism. Not just their church, but God's position, Jesus' position. He very specifically referred to the incidents that have caused these problems, or just the recent ones, frankly. George Floyd, the Amy Cooper thing. I don't know his name either. Man, you see, maybe if I knew the guy's fucking name, it would mean something. But the guy that got shot by the freaking hillbillies just for just jogging down the street. What the hell? Man, that's a problem. Maybe that shows how indifferent I am. I hope not. If you're a black person watching this, man, I want to do something. I don't know what to do. He very specifically used those names. And so maybe that's a start. maybe for me, this is a start to say, in whatever way I am able to do so, I will stand with you and I'll take the heat. I will take the bullet, because some things are more important than others. I don't really want to get shot, by the way. That's not what I meant. I think it's bullshit. And I know a lot of people watching this do, but I'll bet some of you who are watching this don't. Some of you who are watching this may actually be the same people that would put your knee on the back of a man's neck until you kill him, just because you think you can get away with it because of the color of his skin. So if you will forgive me, that's what I have for today. I've been wrestling with that all day. My problems at work seem like nothing. I've got the same crap happening that I've been happening, but I am not threatened because of the color of my skin. I'm not living in fear because of the color of my skin, unless I go to a place where there's a predominantly greater number of people with a different color skin, and then I'm only there because they might want some payback on a brother. They just might want to give a white boy an ass whooping. Because for hundreds of years, white people have been taking advantage. Got ourselves into this, probably. I don't know. I'm not one of them. I never did it. And I hope that I am innocent. Anyway, there you go. That's what I have to tell you today. I will hopefully have something more bright, funny, and cheery for you tomorrow. But thanks for watching this, and I'll talk to you later.